Hello, it's Molly Reamer with 30 Days of Goddess in Bridget's Grove with this week's mini ritual using Womanrunes, the daily practice companion deck, and an assist from the Story Goddess Oracle. And so from Womanrunes this week, we received the Moon and Star, the Rune of Faith. I always like to see this card come up because it reminds me to hold on. It reminds me to hold on to faith. It reminds me to hold on to hope. It reminds me to hold on to love. It reminds me to keep going, to have faith in myself, to have faith in the sacred, to have faith in this earth, and even though it is sometimes difficult, to have faith in other people as well. And so what do you have faith in? What helps you nurture and cultivate and sustain a sense of faith? Faith can be a challenging word for people sometimes. Sometimes I think of it as just trust instead. It's self-trust, trust in my own belonging, in your own belonging. And so what does faith mean to you? It is also a rune of inspiration, truth, and psychic healing. So what are your sources of inspiration? Where are you finding inspiration? How are you living and learning from and speaking and sharing your own truth? And then our ritual cards. Our word is delight. And this one really speaks to me a lot. I've been turning over some thoughts about fun and pleasure and joy and delight. My word for 2024 is liberate. And I've been thinking of a whole host of companion words for liberate, such as play and freedom and really delight and joy. So may you nourish and nurture your own sense of delight. May you pay attention to the things that bring that spark of delight to your life. And a practice. Oh, this one we just had recently. Take a pinch of herbs outside and let them drift away in the wind. This is a very simple and can be very powerful ritual as well. You can have a purpose or an intention for them. So you can take a specific herb such as lavender for peace, or rosemary for remembrance, or thyme for time, or yarrow for healing. You can take a specific herb for a specific purpose and offer that to the winds as a blessing, as a prayer, as a promise, as an offering. If you don't have a pinch of herbs, you can use something that you find around you. Sometimes that can even be a more powerful offering. And you can also offer a little strand of your own hair if you need something like that. So that can be a powerful, simple, tiny ritual. It can be a good seasonal acknowledgement as well. And then we have two affirmations. So we have the prayer, we have two affirmations, and our Story Goddess Oracle card. So I'm going to go with the Story Goddess Oracle card first. So we received Gaia, who I love to see, and her message is actually based, a lot of the poems for the Story Goddess Oracle cards, I wrote as we created the goddesses for our shop. This poem was actually written before we made Story Goddesses, and it was written based on my sense of Gaia in the land which I live on. And then that poem was actually published in my first book of poems, Earth Prayer. So this one has deep roots, fittingly for Gaia. It has deep roots. Listen, I am that which weaves the whole. I am that which holds the all. I am that which flows dancing lightly through the heartbeat of every being. I am within you and around you. I hold you and enfold you. My promises are the colors of green leaves, blue sky, and red berries. I speak to you in root and hoof, in branch and stone. So how is the land speaking to you this week? What is being communicated to you from your own landscape? And making a little connection there to that rune of faith. The promises are in green leaves and blue sky and red berries. The promises are in the land beneath our feet and the sky above us. So now let's go with I'm going to close with the affirmations. So close with the prayer. Here is our affirmation. I accept the invitation to sit with joy and create my life. This is part of the booster pack for the daily practice deck. I accept the invitation to sit with joy and create my life. I remember this often. Oh, and I didn't even see until just this second how well that connects with the thought of delight and making space in your life and your days for delight and for joy, and making space to sit with joy and create your life, design your days with some delight included. And then this prayer card, this was a free set that I'd made as part of our 1,000 Days of Goddess celebration. So those cards are still available to you for free on our Patreon, goddessmagic.com, or patreon.com/goddessmagic in the collections tab under 1,000 Days of Goddess. So this one I come back to over and over again. This is something that I have faith in. I breathe the breath of grace. That's something that I find tremendously, it boggles my mind that we have blinked our eyes open inside of this miracle of being alive. We have overcome math itself to be on this planet at this time, in this body, in this life. And so when I feel lost or uncertain or confused, I remember, I breathe the breath of grace. We are this, to live at all is the original blessing. And then we'll close with this prayer, which is very, very seasonally appropriate. This is from the Cut Your Own deck for October and November, and it is a perfect reminder for this time of year. It is a time of exhale, when we lay things down, look at what we're carrying, and see if it is what we actually want to save. It is time to sit and savor what we've made, what we've grown and gathered. A time to run our hands over the harvest we've collected and say, this is good. This is enough. And you may actually wish to do that. Gather together some of your work from this year or symbols of your work from this year and tell yourself, this is good. This is enough. So may you take delight in your life. May you sit with joy and create your days. And may you look at what you've made and know that it is good. It is enough. Thank you so much for being here. Keep living your magic.